In a chilling speech, Putin warns the whole world that he's prepared to invade NATO and go to war if the world tries to destroy Russia, going on to say that Western dominance is coming to an end. You even had Joe Biden going on national television and calling Putin a war criminal after the United States sent a $1 billion military package to the Ukraine. And on the Ukrainian front, Ukraine has rejected Russian peace talks proposal to become a neutral state like Sweden, demanding that international forces will intervene. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet, I want to talk about the recent drama between Putin and Biden and even Elon Musk. Yeah, you heard me right, folks. Even Elon Musk was fighting with Putin. Here on The Independent, Elon Musk changes his name to Alona on Twitter after being mocked for challenging Putin to a fight. Yeah, so, yeah, he posted this tweet where he was like, Vladimir Putin, in like Russian, and then he was like, fight me. I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe it was just to get attention, but okay. Kind of silly. So, recently, Vladimir Putin had this really good speech about the US dollar and how it's coming to an end. It's no longer going to be a reserve currency, and the West is basically losing its power. And I hate to say it, but I think he's right. I think that the reason that Russia invaded under Joe Biden is because Joe Biden is weak, and right now this country is falling apart. But we're going to talk about that, folks, including the oil prices, the gas prices, what's going on in Ukraine, and Zelensky. But before we do, remember to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for updates for future content, and if you like the videos that I make, please share them with your family and friends and on social media. And now I want to give a quick shout out. So today's shout out is going to go to a channel named Eleni Farmer. This is a farm life channel / vlog, basically, where he goes around talking about and showing you what life is like on a farm. I'm personally a fan of this kind of content. You know, subscribe and stuff, and you know, check it out. If you're interested in farm life, be sure to click the link down below in the description and subscribe to Eleni Farmer. Check it out, folks. And we're back. So let's jump right in. So Ukraine is being hit really hard. Right now, a lot of people are talking about a Ukrainian theater that was bombed by Russian forces. Here on the Daily Mail, mass deaths feared as Putin's forces bomb Ukrainian theater where hundreds of people were sheltered, despite the word children being written on the outside. Now, this is yet another one of those kind of wartime stories that are supposed to be sad. And I don't want to call it propaganda. I'm not saying that this didn't happen. I'm saying that it did happen, but it may not necessarily be as black and white as people think. You see, for a long time now, Zelensky has been housing his military in the same shelters that civilians are sheltering in. This has made civilian shelters somewhat into targets, right? Everyone was wondering, why was Putin blowing up schools? Well, turns out you had a bunch of military inside the schools. That's where they were taking shelter. There was even one Redditor, for example, who posted that, hey, the training troops and everyone, like the volunteers and the military, were staying in the school. Later on, Russia bombed all the schools in the area. Now, speaking of Redditors, I covered a story a while back about how Redditors were volunteering to go to war in Ukraine. And I actually have some recent screenshots kind of showing how that's going. Check this out here on Reddit. Volunteers for Ukraine. Someone says, be careful out there. A training facility was bombed today. A user here who deleted his account says, left the Legion. Some are staying to help refugees. Some are going home. But it's clear that going to Lviv with a Legion is nearly an effing death sentence. A medic died the other day after he got to the front. Another guy tried shooting an AK at an APC and was killed immediately. A 10-man team was nearly wiped out. 8 were killed and 2 crawled away. Your body will not be retrieved from the front lines either. So, it turns out those Redditors are being absolutely destroyed. And this guy's literally abandoning the war. Now, I don't even know if he can do that. When you enlist to fight for Ukraine, it's a 3-year contract. In other words, you're a soldier for 3 years. So if this guy's deserting, I don't know what the punishment is. I mean, Ukraine right now is being blown to bits. Who's there to actually enforce the military? And this is another reason I do not believe that Ukraine is winning the war. At least this is the opinion of some people. If you believe the media, Ukraine is absolutely devastating the Russians, and the Russians are being obliterated, and all the tanks got blown up, and basically Ukraine has supremacy, and they're gonna win. If they're gonna win, then why are volunteers just dropping left and right? Why are they being used as cannon fodder? Why is Zelensky so desperate for foreign intervention? Why does he keep asking for jets? Why did he try to conscript the entire Ukrainian population? These are not the actions of a man who's winning a war. And I think as time goes on, we are slowly being forced to admit this, that even if Ukraine is able to fight back, and even if they're able to fight back gallantly, they just can't win. Here, a Reddit user named Spin Octo says, "Thanks, man. The cannon fodder term is what was coming out of a lot of volunteers' mouths. That's why I mentioned it. There was a real shift in people's expectations of being utilized as a unit with operational capabilities versus the reality of basically being bodies in front of the advancing Russians." A lot of these Redditors, they're just going out there and they're not coming back. And it's terrifying. This is the reality of a war, but it's also the reality of a war that you're probably not winning. So people can talk all day long about how Ukraine is so strong and how they're winning the war. I just don't think they are. I really don't. And this is what scares me, because Ukraine is rejecting being neutral. Why would Zelensky refuse to accept Russia's deal and become a neutral territory? Why is Ukraine rejecting peace? Take a look at this story. Ukraine has today rejected a Russian plan to become neutral like Sweden or Austria, as the warring sides try to hash out a deal to end the bloodshed in Eastern Europe. Moscow is thought to be demanding that Ukraine refuse to join any military alliance or host foreign military bases on its soil in exchange for a ceasefire and a withdrawal of Russian troops currently terrorizing the country. But Kiev has said any deal will need to include a security guarantee underwritten by international partners who would agree to come to Ukraine's defense in the event that it was attacked again. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov today confirmed that neutrality is taking center stage, with Moscow and Kiev close to agreeing on the wording of the agreement, as it was revealed in a 15-point plan for peace, which is being discussed. Okay, so part of this plan limits the Ukraine's armed forces in return for Russia withdrawing. This is actually a lot like Japan. After the war, America didn't stay in Japan. They didn't conquer Japan. Personally, I would have liked to see America colonize Japan, and then we could have had Japan as like a whole state, or maybe 5 states. I don't know. It could have been part of the US. I think that would have been really cool. But that's not what we did. What we did was say, you're not allowed to have a real military anymore. And also, from now on, you're going to be an ally, and you're going to work with us. We've got some military bases in Japan. That's how it is. It sounds a lot like that. You know, Russia withdraws. It makes sure that Ukraine doesn't join NATO, doesn't have military bases from the United States, and basically just stays neutral. You know, personally, I believe that if America were to join the war, that Putin would use nukes. I believe that very strongly. And yet, Biden is giving Ukraine more and more weapons. Here on the Daily Mail, exclusive, 5 Mi-17 helicopters, 2,600 Javelin and anti-armor systems, 600 Stinger anti-aircraft systems, 70 Humvees, and 40 million rounds of ammunition. The full breakdown of Biden's arms shipments to the Ukraine. So the Biden administration has secured somewhere between $800 million to $1 billion in foreign aid for Ukraine. It's a lot of money. And he's sending a lot of weapons, a lot of missiles. And, you know, what about America? What about gas? This is money we don't have, and we're sending it to other people? People are having to choose between feeding their kids and filling up their gas tanks. And we're going to send over $1 billion to Ukraine? Who's probably gonna lose anyway? This is where we're at, folks. The other day, Saudi Arabia was discussing accepting the yuan instead of US dollars for Chinese oil sales. This is a big deal, folks. You know, this is part of Putin's speech. He said that the petrodollar was failing. You see, currently, America uses its power to force the whole world to buy oil in dollars. This essentially means that the dollar is the world reserve currency because everyone must use it. Everyone has it. What happens if people stop using the dollar? Well, not only are you going to get hyperinflation, not only is gas prices going to go even higher, America as an empire will fall. And there's people who talk about like a cycle, like every, I don't know exactly what it was, maybe 300 years, I think, that a new world reserve currency rises and an old world reserve currency falls. And it marks like the beginning and end of empires. Is that where America is now? What's going to be the new world reserve currency? Scary times, folks. Scary times indeed. You know, I think it goes without saying that right now the world is just stuck in a lull. We're teeter-tottering on the edge. We don't know if we're going to plunge into nuclear war, or if Ukraine and Russia are going to declare peace, or if the US dollar is going to crumble, and then we're just all going to be destroyed. But it sure feels like something really big is about to happen. I don't know about you folks, but I would prepare for something. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Let me know by commenting down below in the comment section. As always, support the channel by joining me on Patreon or Subscribestar. As this channel is currently not monetized, it is supported by viewers like you. Anyways, thanks for watching, folks. Honestly, this war has been going kind of slow. I'm kind of just sitting on the sidelines watching it all unfold. But enjoy your day, folks. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy your mornings, whatever time it is. And I'll see you all next time.